lives. This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me.
It's about time for Jasmine Crockett to be exposed, because this little fake ghetto act that she's been putting on for the last couple of years is getting really irritating. I don't know why she does it. I guess she thinks it will appeal to more minority voters. But in reality, she's just making herself look stupid. And she's making her community look stupid. I know people from around the world tune in to listen to her ghetto nonsense. And they probably wonder, how in the hell did someone like this get into politics? Well, the way she got into politics is because Jasmine Crockett is not the woman that she portrays herself to be. You see, recently she tries to put on this ghetto accent. She likes to act like she's from the streets. She likes to act like she's all hood, when in reality, she lived a very privileged life, more privileged than any white person that I personally know. She was going to private school her entire life. Her parents were paying $20,000 to $30,000 a year to put her through private school. She lived in a beautiful, wonderful, nice neighborhood. Yet she likes to pretend like she's hood because I guess this gets her more votes. At the very least, it gets her more attention. But all attention isn't positive attention. But she's eating up the attention right now, just acting like a complete fool. She recently posted this TikTok video trying to do a little Kendrick Lamar dance. She has her tongue out. And mind you, this is like a 40-something-year-old woman that we're looking at here, okay? Keep that in mind. She's a 40-something-year-old woman in Congress acting like a 17-year-old hood rat. And the funniest part about these clips that she's uploading, dancing and stuff, is that none of these people have any rhythm. And that lets you know, when you see black women dancing like how they're dancing in this video, that is a key sign to let you know that they were not raised in the hood. They were not raised even around other black people. I have never seen a black woman with worse rhythm than these three individuals in this video. Have you ever seen a black woman just be this stiff while trying to dance? I haven't. But then again, you know, I've been around people who are really from the hood. I lived the life that Jasmine Crockett claimed she has lived. So when I see a black woman dancing all straight, that just lets me know, okay, you definitely had a different upbringing. I don't know who the hell taught you to dance like that, but hey, it is what it is. But without further ado, I want to show you the difference between how she acted a couple of years ago and how she's acting now. Because there is a complete difference. And some people would call it code switching. What code switching means is sometimes you'll have someone from the hood or you'll have someone that speaks a certain way, right? But then when they're in a professional setting, they sound and talk more professional. That's what code switching means. So you could take someone from the ghetto that talks, you know, with a lot of lingo and stuff that most people won't understand. And code switching is if they go, let's say, into politics and they talk regular, right? Jasmine Crockett is doing the exact opposite. Jasmine Crockett used to sound like someone who had somewhat of an education. Jasmine Crockett used to sound somewhat proper and decent, but now she has code switched to trying to act more hood or whatever. It's kind of the same thing that we saw from Kamala Harris, who was desperate to try to prove to everyone that she was black, right? So when she would go do speeches in front of, you know, a predominantly black crowd, she would sound more hood and more southern. When she would go speak in front of a Spanish crowd, she would try to have a Spanish accent. That's what Jasmine Crockett is kind of doing here. And it all comes around full circle to these people having identity crises because they try to make everything about their race, when in reality, their own race probably wouldn't accept them because they act too much out of line or they act too much like a different race. So people like Jasmine Crockett, people like Kamala Harris, they go through their entire lives having this identity crisis. And it plays out right on the news and right in their political speeches. But let's go ahead and watch this clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need.
Listen, he up there, he's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know.
But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know.
We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts.
You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that.
We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today.
So this is basically reverse code switching. And it shows you how much America has declined. You know, I talk in a certain way amongst my friends. But the way I talk amongst my friends is different than how I'm going to talk if I'm in the White House or a member of Congress, right? I would code switch. Jasmine is doing the exact opposite. And that's next level phoniness. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with speaking more proper in certain settings. I think that's respectable. I think that's something people with, sense, who are smart, that's something they would do. Someone who does the exact opposite. And it's so weird. It's because, like, Jasmine, you did not live this lifestyle. You never talked like this, right? You lived a very privileged lifestyle. So why are you acting like this now? It's super phony and superficial. And I think most people who are real people, they can see it. But she's trying to cater to a certain crowd. And that crowd may share her videos on TikTok. And they may say, "Yas, queen, oh my God." But that crowd ain't going to get her too far in politics. So I don't know what she thinks that she's accomplishing. But it's really sad. Because what type of message does this send to people within her own community? You know, young girls, Jasmine Crockett is a complete idiot. She always has been, regardless of how she speaks. But at the very least, young girls who look like her could have looked up to her and one day, hey, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to be a politician. Maybe I want to pursue this career, or maybe I want to go to college and do this, right? But instead of being that role model, regardless of how stupid and whacked out her politics is, instead of being that role model, she's chosen to, hey, look at me. I'm going to act ghetto and ratchet right here, in the White House. I'm just going to ghettoify everything. And now what type of message does that send to young women? Because most young women out there that look like Jasmine Crockett, they're not going to have the opportunities that Jasmine Crockett had. In fact, most Americans, regardless if you're a woman, a male, regardless of what skin color you have, most Americans do not have the opportunities that Jasmine was given growing up. So it's funny because people like Jasmine will pretend that they had to work 10 times harder because of their skin color, right? To get to where they're at. Yet this is the message they send to their community. Do you think these other little girls who look up to Jasmine Crockett are going to make it to where Jasmine Crockett is by acting ghetto with their tongue out and dancing stiff as a board for TikTok? No, they're not. But people like Jasmine Crockett, they know what they're doing. They like to pull the ladder up behind them. Now that she has this platform, instead of using this platform to look like a dignified woman with some sense and a good head on her shoulders, she's going to act like a ghetto hood rat, hoping to inspire the youth to never accomplish what she has accomplished. And it's sad, but that's how this stuff happens. For now, let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.